much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is October the 13th. This is a special Board of Supervisors meeting with the only agenda item on the board being with Denise Burley, with our Public Health Director. Madam Clerk, can you do a roll call, please?
Yes. Supervisor Angus?
Here.
Supervisor Johnson?
Present.
Supervisor Gould?
Here.
And we have Supervisor Watson and Chairman Bishop present. We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you very much. This will be a discussion of possible action, an update from the County Public Health Director to the Board of Supervisors regarding recent issues, actions, events, and county responses regarding COVID-19 updates and taking any necessary actions based upon the updates. So Denise Burley, our Public Health Director, is at the podium, and I'll turn the floor over to you.
Wonderful. Madam Chair, members of the board, we have had 3,977 confirmed cases to date, 217 deaths, and I have an updated number of recovered from yesterday's report. We have 3,594 that have recovered. And of the total cases, 3,811 cases have been completed out of the 3,977. So to give you an idea of how many cases have been completed and rolled out is there. Average age of cases is 47.7. Average age of deaths is 75.8. And as you probably noticed on the fact sheet, it indicated that there was a slight increase or decrease in cases from the previous week. Any questions on the numbers and the fact sheets?
Any board members have any questions for Denise?
All right, I'll keep rolling.
Thank you.
Wanted to talk about, very briefly, many people probably noticed the Johnson & Johnson paused its phase 3 clinical vaccine trial due to an unexplained illness of one of the participants. I imagine they'll follow through with the same process as AstraZeneca did, where they paused and they have a review board that reviews the case to determine if there are any issues and concerns with the actual vaccine and the trial and the process before they make a determination whether to or not to continue. So we'll wait and see what that next step is for them. Many of you may have also seen that there was a reinfection notice for a person in Nevada.
I saw that.
So I wanted to inform you that there have been 22 documented cases of reinfection worldwide at this point since the start of the pandemic. But it's really unclear how many cases there have actually been and how common it may be among people who don't even know that they've been reinfected or infected in the first place. Remember, in the initial stages of this in our community and many others, we were lacking testing supplies. So a lot of people went to the hospital with COVID-like symptoms, but oftentimes were sent home to quarantine and weren't officially tested. So in many of those individuals, there's quite possibly a case where they didn't know that they were infected in the first place, and so they may interpret that as being reinfected, but it's not confirmed, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. So we'll see. This person in Nevada that was reinfected actually was tested in both cases and determined to be reinfected. And that person, interestingly enough, had no underlying health conditions. So that's...
Do we have the age of that person?
You know, I don't have it in front of me, Supervisor Bishop, so I can certainly find that. I know I've seen it. I just read an article about that, actually. So
no, that's not necessary. I was just curious.
Absolutely. The Lake Havasu City ASU saliva testing event, in that particular case, you know, in all other testing events, we've worked with the actual testing group. And in instances such as that, we've been able to get testing information, the numbers, the number of negatives, positives, et cetera. In the case of the ASU testing event, we've been unable to get any direct information other than through electronic lab records for that particular event. And so I wanted to go back to Supervisor Johnson's question last week of how many people were tested. And the answer is we still don't know the answer to that. We are still following up with ASU to try to get information, but I don't know that we'll get a real complete picture. And what we've been able to determine so far is that there have been 2 positive results of that, as a result of that testing. Okay. I don't really have a lot of other updates, supervisors. I know it's been a long weekend and there may have been a lot that have occurred, but I wanted to leave it open for questions as always.
Hey, Denise, how are the trends going statewide and over the nation? Are we stable all over the country, or?
Right. I was actually in the process of looking up the Arizona numbers before I came into the meeting, and I got distracted with something else, so I apologize that I wasn't able to fully look through that information. On a national level, there are areas of the country where we are seeing an increase in cases. I believe there's, what did I read, 41 states that are showing increases in cases. Some of those are modest increases, while others are more of a concern in the uptick. And I think there, as we again move into cooler temperatures and people spending more time indoors, there's concerns about people continuing on with those mitigation strategies and the mask wearing and social distancing and how that occurs. So,
how about the school-age children? I know we're back in full session in most of our schools. So, are we seeing any uptick there?
We have seen some cases in our schools. And that has been an ongoing. It's not a large number of cases, and we're not seeing a tremendous spike in those cases. And our staff are working with all of those families to ensure that quarantine instructions are provided, and then we follow up with those case investigations.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Madam Chair.
Supervisor Johnson, go ahead.
Thank you. In the past few weeks, we've seen drops in the weekend count, some of them going as low as 0. So with the permission of the board, I would like to make a motion to pause the weekend COVID press releases and direct staff to include any cases we do not receive or that we do receive over the weekend into our Monday report.
Supervisor Watson. Hey, is your microphone on?
Thank you, Chairman Bishop. Yes, I'll second the motion.
Okay, Supervisor Johnson has made a motion. It's been seconded by Supervisor Watson. Any other comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes with majority. Does anyone have anything else? County Manager Elters, do you have anything?
Madam Chair, board members, good morning, good afternoon. I do not have anything else to add.
Okay. All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn then.
So moved.
We are adjourned.
Second.